is Leslie Williams, and today's date is February 4th, 2012. I'm in San Diego, California, and I'm a target of organized stalking and gang stalking, remote neural monitoring, influencing, and stimulating the computer-to-brain feedback loop and electronic harassment. You would not believe what has happened towards me in the last 5 days. It began here at this site right here where I'm at right now. They literally sexually stimulated me again, and then kept it going over at the University of San Diego. They also, what I'm coming to understand because of what I've experienced, in the last 4 to 5 days, they're also engaging in some subliminal programming. Now listen, I've been real hesitant about sharing this because of the simple fact that I already know that the San Diego police are involved in this. I got proof of it. Like, you would not believe the proof I have of this. And if you're a target of organized stalking, you're aware that you're stalked in the business community as well. What do I mean by that? Well, when you go into a business, the people that host and manage this have the power positions to literally see. When you're remotely neurally monitored, and if I have a thought that I'm going to go to a specific store or a bank or whatever, as a result of remote neural monitoring, what is remote neural monitoring? Remote neural monitoring, okay? Now, I've already downloaded some video files about how James Walbert basically talked about how he's being monitored so meticulously that they even know when he's going to send an email and will disrupt him neurally to the point to where he can't even type. And when that doesn't work, they disrupt him neurally to the point to where he can't even remember anything that he's about to do. And that's basically just one of the byproducts of what they've been doing to me from the get-go. Ever since this campaign has started towards me. And, so if I have a evoked potential or a thought that I'm going to go to a specific place, through the remote neural monitor, they know it. And that's whoever is watching the remote neural monitoring, the monitor, gets on the phone and he calls up the business. Like if I think to myself, I'm going to go to the bank, or I'm going to go to Burger King or Walmart, they basically then will have the gang stalkers, and they will notify certain management that they've got on board, and then they'll trickle down their orders to the employees to engage in specific behaviors towards me, like the visual. It's called visual anchoring. It's got to do with sensitization that you can scrutinize over at by going to www.gangstalkingworld.com and going to their techniques page. Now, I'm also gang stalked by the business community as well, like you would not believe. I've been gang stalked at Barnes & Noble's, Mission Valley 7 employees as far as the movie theater goes, Ultra Star Theater, Jack in the Box employees, Ralph employees, Walmart employees, Bank employees, Bank of America, the San Diego police, when I've ever went over there, they already knew I was on my way to go there. Been gang stalked literally by San Diego police officers and detectives. You would not believe what I am experiencing on a daily basis. Now, in the remote neural monitoring file that you can find online, it flat out even says it in there that they are engaged in subliminal programming. Now, subliminal programming might sound crazy, and it might sound like this is just, I can't figure, you think, because I'm just now figuring it out myself as far as like how it's done. See, through the remote neural monitoring, what they basically do, as far as what I can tell to date, I've heard it called data induction and minding, M-I-N-D-I-N-G. And what they basically do is do nothing but take a record of your neural mapping. Now, and it even says it in the remote neural monitoring file that it's possible for them to literally transmit, I forgot what it's called, evoke potential. Well, they can transmit evoke potentials to your brain. Now, they can also morph your voice. If you don't believe when I'm saying that this technology and these capabilities don't exist, understand this and be clear. 2 days ago, it was on the 28th or the 29th, in the first section of USA Today, it flat out says it, scientists tinkering with mind reading. Now, I already made a video about how, excuse me, I just woke up. I already made a video about how the government, see, it's all over the internet that this is getting out. There's bioethics committees commission hearings that are going on now almost every 3 months. You can type in at YouTube bioethics Timothy W. and you'll hear what brain entrainment is. And that's all it is that they're doing nothing but training targets' brains and then stimulating what's entrained using the remote neural monitoring, because the remote neural stimulation is also clearly stated in the remote neural monitoring file. They're literally entraining my brain by subliminally programming me using the capabilities of remote neural monitoring and then stimulating what is entrained. I'm also being neurally interrupted. Recently, I was assaulted on an MTS bus by a gang stalker. They worked MTS and the gang stalker and the San Diego police worked hand in hand to orchestrate that assault and then cover it up by altering the video as far as the back structure of the bus and by altering the amount of time that was made available to me in reference to the amount of time that was available on the video. 1 minute before the assault and 1 minute after. Even though in the right hand corner of the video it clearly shows the video is over 34 minutes long. And they did that because of what the individual was doing 5 minutes before the assault. Yeah, he was engaging in direct physical gestures that are directly associated to the gang stalking expedition. Now, on January 28, 2012, and then 3 individuals got on the bus and were engaging in gang stalking physical gestures in the morning. I got off the bus, went to SDSU, got off the bus, then went to SDSU, left SDSU, went to Mission Valley 7 and watched that movie Man on the Ledge. I left from there, went to Jack in the Box, then went to the 928 bus stop and got on the 928 bus when it arrived. I minded my own business and was reading the paper. And then I got off the 928 bus, and the same 3 individuals that had been on the bus in the morning when I left to go to SDSU got off the bus when I did. And I didn't even know they were on the bus because they were sitting all the way in the back towards the end, and I was reading my paper that night when I was on the bus. So they got off the bus, and I noticed it when I heard them talking behind me. So I turned around and I asked them, why did they do what they did, and they flat out admitted they were put on that bus to do that by individual I've never met before. And that's online right now. You can find it at YouTube by typing in learning disabled woman catches gang stalker admitting they were sent to harass her. Now, my name is Leslie Williams. The only thing I can do is try and help people understand what's happening towards me and how the host and manager and director of these campaigns has the power position in the community. If he's got the power position in the community to even get the business community on board in reference to surveillance and harassment when I go into a business, understand this and be clear. All you have to do is type in gang stalking and retail stores. And looking at the amount of responses you'll get from by typing in at Google gang stalking universities. By doing these things and researching everything that I'm telling you right now at YouTube, there's also at Google and YouTube, there's also the video of when I was assaulted that's on YouTube. Copblock posted it on their webpage, and when you go to their webpage to find it, you're going to have to click a couple pages back because it's a little bit now of a little bit of an older story. And you can also find it at YouTube by typing in learning disabled woman brutally assaulted on an MTS bus. Look for the video that's got over almost 900 views on it as of today's date, which is February 4th, 2012. Now, the last 4 days has been extremely psychologically traumatic. I have literally been psychologically traumatized like you would not believe in the past 4 days because they have literally sexually stimulated me again, and they were literally and deliberately stimulating some brain-trained neural networks that they have subliminally programmed. And that's got to do with military personality attributes. And I don't have no clue really. I have one clue where that comes from. But ladies and gentlemen, the only thing I can try and tell you to do is I'm not crazy in any way whatsoever. Okay, I'm not delusional in any way. I don't have any I don't have paranoid schizophrenia or schizophrenia. I'm not dementia. I'm not bipolar. I'm not delusional in any way, shape, or form. But I guarantee you this right now. These are the types of, now listen to this. There's a manifesto online titled A Gang Stalker Confesses. It's literally the manifesto of a gang stalker who went offline, typed in who they are, who they're connected to, what they're about, and partly how they operate. And he even flat out says that in the manifesto that if he ever wanted to lead the syndicate, that they would deliberately diagnose him with schizophrenia. Yeah. My name name is Leslie Williams. The only thing that I can do is tell the truth about what is happening to me in San Diego, California, in case something happens to me, either being entrapped by the police, the courts, or killed, or institutionalized, because they know I'm exposing this, and they know what I'm exposing is extremely criminal and felonious to the extreme. They're into human trafficking, and they literally created this environment right here in order to try and entrap me through the courts by trying to claim that I can't take care of myself and that I might possibly have a mental illness in order to make money off of me. My Social Security, to exploit the Medicare, and to exploit me sexually, and probably for more brain entrainment. Again, go to YouTube and type in Timothy Bioethics, Timothy W, and listen to him talk about brain entrainment, neurocognitive weapons, which are nothing but neural implants, which are usually used to interface with the capabilities of remote neural monitoring. Targets are usually implanted with transreceiver implants that aid in the bed in reference to the transmission of harassment neurally, because you even hear harassment that's neurally, and well, that's the receiving part of the transreceiver implant. Hang on, I gotta sneeze. And the transmission part of the transreceiver implant is to transmit my evoked potentials through the RFID signature of the implant. Because what is an RFID? It's an RFID transreceiver implant, radio frequency identification. And what they do is they get the identification number of the target's brain in order to be able to access it with the remote neural monitoring. And they do that by putting it by equating the mathematical. What they do is they assign a number to the mathematical equation that they derive from remotely neurally monitoring you. They take the mathematical equation of the frequency of the resonance frequency of a specific neural network, and they assign a number to it. Then they just dial you up based on that number using the remote neural monitoring. And as a result of that, they're literally in as far as being able to ascertain what your evoked potentials are. Now, again, my name is Leslie Williams. Now, I always tell the truth in my videos. Since I have been traumatized like you would not believe in the last 4 to 5 days, and knowing that they're infested in the courts, social services, the police, I have read multiple targets, other blogs where they can get no help from the FBI or nothing. And as a result of literally being neurally controlled like you would not believe, neurally interrupted and neurally controlled, I got depressed like you would not believe, because I thought to myself, I'm going through this, and they got such strong capabilities to literally interrupt you neurally and somewhat even neurally control you. And they also are involved in voice synthesizing with this voice morphing, where they can literally mimic your voice, say anything into their computer that holds your voice as far as the voice print. It's called a voice synthesizer, and then transmit messages in your head in your own voice. This is literally their capabilities. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, YouTube it and Google it. To make a long story short, yesterday I got so depressed. I went to a restaurant and had half of a drink and left. Okay. So far since I've been here, I've drank on 2 occasions, okay? And that's when they sexually stimulated me over at University of San Diego in September. And I went to the same restaurant and had 3 drinks on that night. And then last night I went to the same restaurant and had half. I ordered a whole drink, but I only had half of it left. And I was gang stalked to that place again, because I knew I was going there. So I'm here today, ladies and gentlemen, to make sure that I tell you the truth, since they're using the business community. You never can tell what they might try and do, because they see that they're not able to entrap me at all in reference to getting me to do anything that they might be able to do it. I gotta stop. This YouTube video is only almost 15 minutes long. Leslie Williams, San Diego, California. Today's date is February 4th, 2012.